What's going on, party people? Big Ran in the house along with my homeboy. You know Tony Tone's in the house.
Woo-woo. It's been a long time, people.
We haven't did a show in a minute, so we out here again. We out in the open again, and we got a guest with us tonight. He's not really a guest, but he been down with us for a minute. But this is my stepson, Dejour. He wanted to hang out with me tonight to see what we do, how we get down on our podcast.
Say hello to the people, Dejour. Hey, what's up, guys?
You got to talk into the mic, don't you, right?
You sounding good. What's up, guys? You know, here with the guys hanging out, getting to, you know, get used to this type of stuff. And you guys will see me more often.
Yes.
So, sounds good.
That's right. He's trying to get his own YouTube channel right now.
That's right.
So I told him, you know what, come on, you got to learn a little something, and we're going to work. That's good. Even the whole family went out. Get involved, man. Everybody wants to get a YouTube channel.
For yawning, y'all. It's been a long day for me.
Yeah. So I'm going to just jump right into it. I want to go through something tonight that I was reading. This is from one of our YouTube by the name of Paul Douglas. I hope he don't mind me shouting out his name, but Mr. Paul Douglas.
Excuse the background noise. We outside.
We outside.
So it's live in the living room.
Live in the living room.
Live outside the living room, actually.
So this is for Mr. Paul Douglas. I think this is cool. I want to read this. Excuse me. We're going to open up with this. If you're dating someone, try and find out how that person was raised. A lot of people wasn't raised on love. They were raised on survival. That's why you see so many men or women not being able to love properly. You'll find a lot of good-looking people damaged inside because of their past, and you won't realize how damaged they are until you try to love them. If you think a person's past doesn't affect how they see life, then you are sadly mistaken. Come on, man. I think that was one of the best posts I read today. And I can't alliterate how alliterate. I said alliterate. Alliterate.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. How important that is.
I put a check mark next to it.
So man, go ahead, man. Go ahead. I think that's very important. I think, it looks like the car's coming right up on us with the lights and all that.
That's okay. They probably are because they losing their focus on where they supposed
to
be going.
Right, because we doing a part. They doing a part, yeah.
If somebody run into the back of us, at least we got it videoed. We got the license plate and everything just in case they start to drive off. But anyway, let's get back to the gentleman. And I kind of agree with part of it that I understand. I'm going to ask you to reiterate in a little while. Mm-hmm. But finding out about a person's background does have a lot to do with where they came from to know where they're going.
Yeah, very much
That's
so.
Basically my understanding of some of it.
And I'm telling you, what made me bring this up is because, earlier, a couple of days ago, I did a video about father figures. And I thought that this young man was, whoever this young man was, I don't know him, but I think he was being bashed real bad, because he was interested in the mother, but he wasn't interested in being the father figure to the children, which I don't think that's anybody's responsibility.
Let me cut you off. Was it his children?
No.
Oh, okay, her children.
It was her children.
So he's interested in the relationship, but not interested in the family.
And when I tell people, when most of the times when families start like that, when you're a stepfather or you're a stepchild, that's how relationships start. It doesn't start with you knowing the child. That very rarely happens. Because then if you know the child before the mother, that means you're involved with the child outside of activities or doing some other things, maybe a coach or, anything of that nature. But I just thought at this time it was an appropriate post, because before you can ask anybody to do certain things, I think you should also be aware who you asking to be father figures and things like that around your children. You don't just think because a man is interested in you that he should automatically be interested in your children. It doesn't work like that. It just doesn't.
I totally agree.
Do you have... Go ahead.
Yeah. It's also good to, put yourself in the other person's shoes as well and see their point of view.
Mm-hmm.
Sounds good. Mm-hmm. That sounds good. Now, what I wanted to know was there any background on the issue, whether did he live with the woman?
I don't want to get too deep, because she's part of the family.
Oh, okay. I thought it was just something you came across.
No, it's a post. It's definitely a post, but she's a post within the family. She's not a public post. She's a friend post.
Oh, okay.
But I just, you know, we have a lot of positive brothers out there doing a lot of positive things. And posts like this sometimes, and it wasn't even her post. So let me get that straight. It wasn't even the young lady's post that made me even want to put this as a topic. It was the comments that the people were giving her on her post. It wasn't the young lady's post. She's only posting what she feels. And if she feels at this time that she's been with this man long enough for this man to put himself in that role, then I can understand that. It was the response to the post that made me say, wait a minute. No one's obligated to anything. When it comes to being a stepfather to a child, that's definitely something that comes from the heart. Because if you don't feel it from the heart, there's no relation.
Okay, I was thinking of that as you was talking, because responsibility, I mean, I'm going to tell you, as a woman told me once, when you engage with a woman and it goes further than just a date, you are taking on the baggage. I hate to say that word baggage, but it's a package deal. That's how it was brought.
Not right away.
I said if it's not still in the dating factor. Once you go beyond dating,
you're right,
and you start a relationship, you're not only starting a relationship with the woman, you're starting a relationship with the family. That doesn't only mean the children. That can mean the sisters, the brothers, the mothers, the fathers. That's a lot to deal with, and that's a lot to take on, and that does become a commitment that you have to make.
Yeah, but I don't think it should be a commitment that is forced upon a man.
But that's why you have a choice. As you're going through dating, usually when you're going through dating, you're sitting down with, you're having dinner, watching a movie, whatever. You discuss certain things. Like, say you're sitting across from her at the first time you're having dinner, and you're going to talk about, okay, what are your likes, your dislikes, what do you want to do, where you want to be, how many children you have, how's your children, this, that, and the other. You're going to know beforehand, before it comes to the relationship status, what you're going to have to deal with. And at that time, you have a choice.
You do.
You have a choice.
You do.
That's just that simple. You have a choice to say, and it was told to me. It was told to me. You have a choice. You don't have to deal with me and my family. You can decide to move on.
But my thing is, the way they was posting on this guy, they called him, it's like he was almost a coward for not stepping into his responsibilities. But my whole thing is, what were his responsibilities?
As I said, his responsibilities stepped in because it's a package deal. Now, whatever y'all discussed on what's your part of offering, or what you're bringing to the table, go ahead.
Wait, because it only becomes a package deal if you decide it's a package. It can't be a package deal if she thinks it should be a package deal and you don't.
That's something that's to be discussed. That's my point.
My whole point is this. So if you discuss it with him and he decides to tell you, well, I'm not really interested in going that far to being that father figure with your children.
You know what the next words are?
It depends on her. Now, if she says...
I was about to say.
Hold on.
Go ahead.
If she decides to dismiss that man because he doesn't want to fulfill the role she thinks he should fulfill, she has every right.
That's not...
But he's not obligated.
He's not obligated. That's why he has a choice.
But you're saying that it's a package deal. It's only a package deal if he marries her.
No. That's
untrue.
And
by marriage, marriage, I don't mean...
You mean commitment.
Commitment, thank you.
I got you.
Okay.
But like I said, he has a choice.
Yes, he does.
And in the dating part of that relationship, that's when you discuss these things.
Yes,
you don't plan to move in and then realize that I don't want to deal with this. But then when you move in, whether it's y'all moving together, you move in with her, she moves in with you, whichever way it go, you got to know beforehand what you're going to encounter. So visits to the house before you move in.
Every man is not the same.
But
every man is not going to be willing to take on the next man's responsibility. Every man is not going to be willing to do that
during dating.
And my whole thing is that every woman should understand that there comes to a time where you're going to hit that brick wall in dating, where you're going to want more than what he's made. You may, as a woman, want more than what he might be giving to you at that moment.
But those are the discussions. The discussions are during dating. That's why I keep saying that. During dating, discussions are... Wait, hold on. The discussions are... The discussions are, where do we plan to go with this? I am a woman. Let's just say 2 kids or 2+ kids. You discuss whether the baby fathers are involved, whether there's child support, whether you've been married before, All these things are discussed prior to making a commitment of the relationship. I believe.
Pretty much.
I believe.
You can say something. It's all right, man. You can,
yeah, if you feel
you want to add your opinion, voice it out.
Sometimes we get adamant about what we talk about.
That's right.
Just give us a minute. We'll give you a break to go and jump in. Go ahead.
Go ahead. Say something. You got something you want to?
Well, I agree with both gentlemen here with me, my stepfather and his friend. If a man's going to step in and take responsibility as a man or as a stepfather or whatever position he wants to play to the woman or the female, I think they should discuss certain things. Be open with each other so he knows what he's walking into, so he knows what he's gonna deal with. And like Tony said, that's his choice if he's willing to take on that responsibility or not. And if he know he's not, and he know he's not sturdy or steady himself, he should not take on that big challenge or opportunity. Leave it for the next person who will able to take care of that woman and help her out in certain ways.
Amen.
I agree with you. And he did not to stand in the way and try to act like you want to be that person, but no, that's not something you really want to do. And that's something that a lot of women run into, that they get in this relationship.
Right.
And I'm going to say it like this: give up the cookie, get all involved, get your hopes involved, because you had discussions on where we going to go with this relationship, and you know what I got, you know what you got. Because there's always a flip side to that, because he got children. There might be a chance that he has children outside of the relationship also. Now, that's going to play a part too, even though whether they with him or not with him, or if they moving in, when they come together, whether they come together with his children or whatever the case may be. But that's a two-sided coin.
I just feel that it's, and I get it, because you're absolutely right, especially if a man's willing to put his shoes under the bed. That's an old
I've heard that before, yeah.
If he's willing to put his shoes under the bed, then she'd be able to put bread and
milk coming in the door.
Yes, and I don't have a problem with that. So I don't argue with that. But I'm just saying that a man shouldn't be obligated to take care of something another man didn't want to. And I'm not going to say he doesn't. That's the wrong word. That's too strong.
He's not obligated.
Because in this situation, I don't know what the deal. So I shouldn't say that. But the way that some of our men come down on some of these men is ridiculous. Some of us definitely deserve to be bashed, put in line, and straightened out. But you guys got to understand, when a man is dating a woman who has children, it is his choice whether he wants to stick around, stay, or leave. It shouldn't be that he ain't shit because he doesn't want to. It shouldn't be that he's not treating her like a queen or king. What if he is treating her better than any man treated her, but maybe he felt like he got too many responsibilities to take on more?
Well, he need to decide that in the beginning, not wait halfway through when y'all done made decisions and made some changes to say, well, like I'm just saying, not wait a whole year and to say, you know what, I can't deal with this.
But I don't think he should be one of those things where he's obligated, whereas one of those, it's like, you know what, because you're dealing with me, that you should be dealing with my children too. That's not fair.
It's not a matter of being fair. That's just the way things are.
Thank you.
Have a good day, ladies. That's just the way things are.
Yeah, you're right. You're absolutely right.
It's just the way things are. Like I said, and I've been told this by plenty of women, that it's a package deal. You can't get with a woman without getting with their children.
Yeah, you're absolutely right.
Some men use that as a tactic to get with the children first, to get a rapport with them before you get with them.
But I have to say, that's only how the woman presents the relationship.
Nah, I don't agree with that.
I agree with that.
Yeah, brother, he had something to say.
I feel like you guys both said, you should always have a one-on-one basic conversation with your other lover or whoever she is to you before she gets to introduce you to her kids.
Be careful when you say other lover.
Lover.
No, the other lover.
I know what he said. He said other lover.
I had to jump in there real quick. Go ahead.
But I think communication is a big,
push your mic piece up.
It's good to communicate with each other. So what's boundaries and where you both stand at as couples or dating wise. I think it's best. Like Tony said, don't wait until the middle of the year
to decide that you don't want to.
Yeah.
It's heartbroken. It hurts females. Not only that.
How you doing? All right. Thank you.
It's best to communicate with each other.
You're right. So but all I'm just going to say at this point is, gentlemen, please take it easy on the next gentleman. There are many of us who are taking care of children that are not ours, who have no problem doing it. There's some of us who who have no problem being father figures because that's what we do. It's just nature. That's natural to some men. Some men is not natural. If it was, we wouldn't have so many men not taking care of their children.
Okay, I got a flip side to that.
I'm listening.
Flip side to that, Flip City.
Flip City
is that what if the kids don't appreciate them? What if the kids see that the women and the woman and the man can it be accepting?
No.
And what if the children are not accepting?
Then you got to go.
Who, the children?
No, you. you don't.
Wait a minute. Why do he got to go? Because the children are acting ignorant and don't want to accept what's going on because they didn't get over that their father's not still there anymore.
Here's what I'm going to tell you.
Go ahead.
As much as you may love the mother, the children are the final example. And that's just evident in what you do. The children are just your final decision of everything that goes on with their mother.
I don't totally agree with that.
I'm telling you.
I'm going to let you finish.
I'm telling you that's what it is. As a person who's been in these situations more than once, it is the children that keep you around. Because if the children are not comfortable with you, then that makes their mother uncomfortable. Which means that she can't get comfortable with you because you can never go around her environment.
Not always so.
Go ahead, I'm going to listen.
There are some seeds that are not correct. And they're not trying to see their women with nobody. That's not the woman's fault. That's not the man's fault. Sometimes the woman got to put her foot down or foot in behind. I was about to curse, and straighten out that child to say, well, this man is willing to love you and love me. You're gonna give him a chance.
Yes, I agree.
Now, unless there's something wrong that he's doing to you, or you see something wrong in him, and you're able to bring that to mom and say, Mom, you know what? I saw him hanging around some women, or whatever the case may be. I don't really trust him. If they find a reason not to trust him, then you bring it to mom, but you don't act out as an adult and do what you do.
Yeah. Oh, okay. I'll agree with that.
That's what I'm basically talking about.
I would agree to that to a certain extent. Because he just said, I agree. So he's in a person who's sitting in the seat of having to deal with a stepfather.
Right.
Was there any time that you weren't, that you just weren't comfortable with the situation?
I would say, when I first met you, it wasn't no bad feelings or anything like that. It was just like, how would he react to us, or how would he act? But as me giving you a chance, later down the line, I got to see that, you wasn't, like my father, you was more helpful to my mom, you were for us, and, I feel like we got to see, the true colors of you, in a good way and everything like that, due to us, giving you a chance. So I think, certain kids should give, their new stepfathers or, or father, another chance, because, everybody deserves a second chance. It's not always that, he messed up the first time, the second time he might do it again. You never know, give people chances.
You always got to give the chance and the opportunity for things to grow.
Yeah, I agree with
with what he said.
I agree with that. I just wanted that to be known, that what we do listen to our Facebook family, and we up to 281 personal friends, so I like that. Yeah, because our goal is 1,000. And like I said on the video, listen, we are getting ready to set up our PayPal for donations. Please subscribe to the YouTube. Please subscribe to the Instagram. Please subscribe to the Facebook. Wherever you want to link up with us at, that's fine. We'll make sure you get it. All videos, everything go out to all media socials. But what I did is someone said, what you said was crazy, because I said I wouldn't take a donation over $1. People, you know what? Let me just straighten something out. When you are asking for donations, I'm not asking you to take food out of your family's mouth. It's help. When you give someone help doesn't mean you got to give a handful. All you have to do is just give enough strength to the person to get ahead. And then maybe I could pull the next person up so they can help the next person. So yeah, a donation, anything over $1, no, I don't want it. Anything between a penny and $1, it adds up. $1's fine. $1's fine.
I'm not one to ever.
I know you're not.
I know, because we had this conversation before.
We did.
Now, I can relate to one hand washing the other.
Yes.
Now, if you want to make a contribution towards something, and also, people say don't give to want something in return, but one hand washes the others and both hands wash the back. I say that to say, everybody has issues and things that they might want to address or might want another opinion on. You can send in a message, a text, a Skype, or whatever you send it out. If you want something addressed, a direction that you would like us to go in one day, something that affected you, we'll definitely address it. We definitely address it and give you feedback on it. And if you want to throw a contribution towards that way to get that address, that's not a problem also. I'm one who do this because it gives me a venting point, relieving my tension, my stress, or what I might be going through. That's what this does for me.
I agree, because I love to just talk.
Yeah, I know.
I just love to talk. Shout out to the Rogers family too. For those who know Lavinia Rogers, her family, her mother and father just made 65 years of marriage. Black love at its finest.
Definitely shout out.
They're from East 174th Street, Mitchell Building. For those of you who know on Facebook, to the Rogers family, make sure you tell them the Randy Tone Show shot. Gave him a big hug and a kiss for 65 years of black love in the making, people. That's the Rogers family. So when you get a chance, shout out on the Facebook, give us some love.
You talk about 65 years. You can never talk about 65 all good years. I know there was some struggling years in there. Man, I know they put in some work.
When I was reading their post and they was actually talking about it, they actually said in one of their posts, she said, how did you stay together so long? And the first thing that they answered was put God first. The second answer was listen to each other. The third answer was never go to bed angry. I said, damn.
I like them three.
I'm three right there. Those are the most powerful three I could have ever read in my life.
Listen to each other.
And never go to bed angry. And it just, yo, man, if that's going to bring you 60, because listen, my mother and father fell short of 50 years. So, man, I'm pretty sure my old man was still alive. They strong 65 too. Like, black love is real when it's real. That means it goes through the ups, it goes through the downs, it goes to the crosswalk, in and out. You drown, you're deep, you're saved, everything you could possibly do with black love. It is in there. It is in there. For 65 years? Shit. That's a long time. That's almost 100 years of life. 65 years? How handsome is that dude? You will have to go to home. Go to home. Anyway, I want to give another shout out too. While we speaking, I'm going to give another shout out. There's a Facebook friend of mine who went through some time. She's a good friend of the family. She found out that she had a sickness, and she's got treated for it. I'm very proud of her. We all know who we're talking about. If you're my Facebook friend and you follow us, really, if you're part of the 281 we have right now, you know who I'm talking about. You know, Livinroom Trt, Big Man and Tone, we do not like to shout out personal names because we don't like to put people on the spot. But we like to read the posts. We like to let the people know that we are watching you like you watch us. But anyway, she put out the post and she came to the end of her treatment. And one of the things she said at the end of her treatment was, and this what made me really want to say this, she said, you know, I would like to go out with my family and have a drink to celebrate me coming to a successful treatment. Now, I don't have no problem with hanging out and going out and celebrating that. That's worth celebrating. The alcohol part I have a problem with. You just be the blessing. And it's definitely not over, but it's a blessing that most people don't get to live through. So I want people to understand you can have just as amount of fun at a juice bar that you could at a regular alcohol bar.
Not to cut you off, I agree with you, but you speaking from a personal aspect, and there are a lot of people who do indulge in alcohol. So if that's what you do, that's what you do.
No, I'm speaking from an aspect of a person not who just got out of a treatment that was very serious, not to give herself another sickness to put her back in it for another treatment that she don't even need. So the alcohol is not necessary at this time.
Did she say alcohol?
Yes, she did.
She said the word
she
alcohol.
went and said she wanted to have a drink with the family. If you know the family,
okay.
Because
a drink could be a glass of wine.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Hey, but Jesus wasn't taking pills. Yes. All right, now, come on. This is about saving life.
Okay.
Not
well,
celebrating
you know
life.
the family, so you know the direction.
Yes. This is not about celebrating life. This is about saving life. We have to save one another. We can have just as good a time at the juice bar doing the same thing, celebrating and hugging and kissing on your we was at the bar drinking cognac. That's all I'm saying. Mango and fruit punch with the seaweed juice is just the same as putting ice up in the Paulies. And shout out to Paul Masson, too.
We got to get our backdrop.
I don't know. You better cut that check. That's all I know.
I'm talking about the backdrop.
Cut that check, man. It's been a minute.
We need our backdrop. Because I don't appreciate dude with his lights on. That's just me.
It's hurting us, but he's picking up his
It ain't really hurting us. Listen, you see what's going on.
I should have threw the lights on, but next time.
No, you don't need a light. You need the backdrop. The backdrop will block out all that background
but
stuff.
You don't see we getting kind of dim right now.
That's okay. We ain't going to be out here all night.
No, we're not.
We good. We got good.
Oh, that's because of dude lights.
That's what I was trying to tell you.
Come on,
that's
playboy.
That's why I was feeling the way I was feeling. See how bright it got when he left?
Yeah, you can still see the water in the back. So that was my whole thing. I just want to see our people live long and prosper, because I think what we have with the Randy Tone show is going to go a long way. Livinroom Trt going to go a long way. I think we're going to go a long way, and coming outside and bringing our show to your neighborhood is going to be even greater, man. Like, you know, it's going to be even greater. I like the fact
being that we do on location, we might be in your area on certain occasions.
That's what I'm trying to tell people.
Right now, we in the area of Katona Park. I don't know what the cross street is down there. What's the cross street down there?
I think that's Claremont Parkway.
Claremont Parkway?
Yeah, Claremont Park. Excuse me.
Claremont Park.
You know where they do the concerts at. That's where we at right now. And we trying to set up here tomorrow, too. Are they doing the concert tomorrow?
I don't know.
We're going to be out here tomorrow, too, trying to do the concert if we can. If we can. We were supposed to come out here the days, and them 3 heat days, oh, my goodness, man.
I told him he didn't want to do that.
Ooh-wee. We stepped out on them 3 heat days. I said, forget it, it's done. All this would have melted. All this would have melted, man.
Within our shows, you probably heard us go to blacknews.com. A couple of things came up that I'd like to address. Let's maybe get your opinion on. You can text in and do whatever later on. It states a man with HIV wins $75,000 lawsuit against a barber refusing to cut his hair. How do you feel about that?
I feel a barber has every right to decide who hair he wants to cut.
I totally agree.
But I also feel as the man getting a haircut, you have a right to get a cut by that barber.
No.
And so does the state. That's why he wants $75 million.
I don't know how that happened, but I don't agree with that.
I agree
Because
with
it doesn't have to be that he had HIV. It could be anybody walk in and say, you know what, I'm not cutting your hair. You can't tell me I have to cut somebody's hair if I don't want to. I mean, regardless of his status and everything. I'm not even talking about that. I could walk in a all Spanish or all white or whatever, or even all black.
Hold on.
They might not even like the way I feel, look, or anything, and deny me my cut.
Hold on. Are you trying to tell me that if you know a person got HIV, you still gonna want to cut their hair?
Sure.
I can't say.
I would. Why? That's why you have disinfect.
Hold on, because I'm not saying I would be nervous if you nick them. You know how sometimes you get nicked at the barber?
If you nick them.
Okay.
Okay, so, all right. Let's be real about it.
I'm being real. That's why I'm bringing it up.
Hold up.
Okay.
Let's be real about
it. Go ahead.
If it's known that he has HIV, then he shouldn't have a problem with me putting gloves on before I cut his hair.
No, all of that is fine.
Okay, so
it's just like you could have bed bugs and put a mattress cover on it and still get bit.
No.
That's all I'm saying, right?
No, I don't agree with that.
All I'm saying is, look.
I don't agree with that.
Listen, all I'm saying is that I understand both sides of the story. And I do understand that if you feel if you put on your rubber gloves and you cut this man's hair, that you should have no problem.
You should be protected.
You should be protected. But there's always that time where you can hit an abrasive mark, the glove can rip, it could be a nick, it could be anything.
That's a long way off.
Always that time.
Hold on, I got one for you though. I think I know where the barber had his problem at. Okay. Say I'm just gonna put fingers on people right now. Say I'm about to cut your hair.
You're gonna cut my hair.
You got HIV.
I'm HIV positive.
The brother next to me knows you have HIV, and he's after you.
You after me.
That's where his problem came in at.
Because
the second person, yo man, if you cut his hair, I'm not getting a haircut.
I'm not getting a haircut.
Exactly.
So
would you feel that way?
No. Yes.
Okay.
And I'm not being. Listen. I'm not being. Because, you know, when you answer questions like that, it's always like, yo, you're discriminating. My whole thing is I have nothing against a person with HIV. I have something against that barber who might not prepare himself to cut me. Like, what do you do? Dip it in alcohol?
No. They have disinfective that he would have to use. Or he would have special clippers for him. Or a dude can bring his own clippers, however it could be done. If it was me,
you know what?
Hold on, I'm gonna say something.
That's
first.
a good one.
If it was me and I had HIV and I wanted somebody to cut my hair and I had to go to the barber, I probably would be my own clippers and say, "Can you please cut my hair?"
That's a good one because I could agree with that too. I might have to buy my own clippers.
Yeah. There had to be some separate clippers that he would have to.
Your
do his
question
hair
was.
with.
Your question was. Now we don't assume that this barber didn't have his own clippers, or that the guy who came in to get his cut didn't have his own clippers, right? The barber didn't even have personal clippers for him.
Right.
Okay, so let's assume that. So I'm going to go with your second story about somebody following the guy who has HIV in the chair. If you're not, and I believe that's what it is. So when he refused him, that's a hell of a lawsuit. Do you know he'll be cutting for that man for the rest of his life? How do you get $75 million out of a barber?
Damn.
What happened?
No, the smell just came through. That garbage truck juice smell. But anyway, what I'm saying is,
it might have been a fire.
Nah, what I'm saying is that second person, he's coming in letting it be known, if you cut dude hair, I'm not getting my hair cut after him.
Amen.
Right? Now he has to make a decision.
Look like a spaceship.
He might have to tell dude, you know what? I'll cut your hair, but you got to come back later. I'll make you my last cut. What about that? You think that's also discrimination?
He still cut HIV before me.
No, he didn't. What are you talking about?
Oh, he make the HIV guy the last.
Yeah, the last person.
See, the whole thing, it might not even have been that, because I'm really thinking about your story and how you presented it. What if it's just the whole barbershop?
It could be, because you could lose business.
Yes.
You could lose business because some people feel that way. Oh, I'm not letting him cut my hair. He be cutting people hair with HIV, but he's probably cutting people hair with HIV anyway, and you just don't know it.
Pardon the alarms, people. We can't help it. We in the Bronx.
That's why you gotta when someone starts to cut your hair, face, shave, whatever, you gotta make sure he's using clean utensils. You gotta make sure he sprays the disinfect on his utensils, because
you know what? I'm gonna be honest with you. That's part of the reason why I stopped going to the barber. That's one of the reasons why I started cutting my own hair too, because
everybody has gotten nicked getting a haircut.
And you know what? Here's what I'm going to say, because I think we have one of the best barbers in the world. I think Jazz is one of the best barbers in the world. What does she use? Wet Bar Cuts. Shout out to Wet Bar Cuts too.
Definitely shout out to
Wet Bar Cuts, because that's definitely our barber.
Working in mostly New York, but I believe is established in Connecticut right now.
Right. So let me make this clear. The reason why you see me with my hair shaved down is because I can't get to Wet Bar Cuts. No one cuts my hair but Wet Bar Cuts.
I actually cut my own hair today.
Yes, because if anybody gonna mess it up, it's gonna be me, because I know she gonna fix me. She is one hell of a barber. If you are in Connecticut and you are friends with Wet Bar Cuts, please shout out, let her know she is definitely loved by the Livinroom Trt and the Big Randy Tone Show. So let's make that clear. Ain't nobody cut this dog but Wet Bar Cuts. What in the Magic Johnson?
Don't slow down, do you? You got your system all up in our system. Go ahead, man.
Go ahead, man.
Go ahead, man. If I throw something at you, get at
He covered all through.
He slowed down so his beats can play on the thing.
Then he not even playing nothing, you know.
He ain't pay for none of that time on you know what I'm saying? We're going to move along from that one, though.
Move on.
I got another one I want to run across you.
Let's run across it.
This is kind of weird. It was a white security guard pointed a gun and tried to arrest a black sheriff.
I saw that.
That was in full uniform.
I saw that. The guy was coming into a place. He asked him to remove his gun. He didn't remove his gun. And the
security guard?
The security guard asked the sheriff. The sheriff was black with glasses.
Right.
I saw that.
Asked him to remove his gun.
He asked him to remove his gun. The sheriff didn't want to remove his gun. He realized he was a police officer. Oh man, this is so, man.
Yeah, I was in Toledo, Idaho. We're not going to say the names of the individual, but that's where it was at.
It's just and it's good that you pointed out blacknews.com. Because this is one of those things where I'm telling you, man, where you got a white security guard who just knew he had authority over this black officer.
He was a sheriff. He's a security guard.
Pulled his gun on this guy and everything. I saw the whole thing, read the story. He pulled his gun on this guy and everything. And this guy restrained from using his own gun because he was been justified for shooting his mother.
No, he wouldn't.
Yes, he would have.
No, he wouldn't.
He pulled a gun on an officer.
But he identified himself as also being, even though he's only security guard, he's securing a certain area.
And if I'm not mistaken, I think the black officer was with his wife. You should click on the story because that's a hell of a story. I'm glad you brought that up. I don't know where I read that at, but I saw that. I said, I saw it on Roland Martin. That shout out to if you really serious about really doing your YouTube, like we really do it, serious about starting our Livinroom Trt, we are trying to get a channel like Roland Martin. That's what you see us trying to do. We're trying to get a channel like Roland Martin, get the credits rolling up and down and everything. I read this story on Roland Martin. And, oh man, this was one of the best stories I've ever read. And the way he broke it down was just incredible. That's where I got the story from Roland Martin.
That's just kind of crazy. I got one other story that kind of blew my mind.
Talk to me.
And I'm sorry, it's just foolish.
Oh man.
I mean, I don't understand. Getting into fights, period.
Man, no.
I mean, without no just cause is just foolish. But getting into a fight with your 3-month-old baby in your arms, I don't even know if I should call that stupid or not. But the woman dropped the baby while she was arguing, and the baby wound up dying. And they're charging the woman with murder. I totally believe that it's just. Because for you to be foolish enough to be getting into altercation with somebody and you got your 3-month-old in your arms, I'm sorry. How do you feel about that, bro? Got in a straight fist fight with your 3-month-old in your arms.
You know, as human beings, sometimes our blood just boils at the wrong time. And this was definitely the wrong time. A woman made a bad decision while holding a 3-month-old son. She drops him, and he dies probably from the injury, the impact.
From the impact of being dropped.
Yeah. Truly an accident. Truly.
And also,
truly an accident, but a moronic accident.
Okay, and also, how does the other woman she had the altercation with, I mean, I would think she would say, you think you want to put your baby down before we get into this? Or does that even come up?
You're asking the world to think before stupidity steps in.
Exactly.
And
is that something bad?
Only on one occasion. See, because there's really nothing you can really say, but charging her with murder, I don't think I would have did that. She's already going to have to suffer the fact of doing real stupidity.
She's getting charged with murder, really, basically on the stupidity of what you did. You did. You caused a life to cease because of an argument, and I don't even want to get into what the argument was about. That's probably irrelevant. But that's just crazy.
I'm starting to look dark on the thing, man.
That's okay. We can maybe out here in a little bit. I got one more story I want to go through. I just happened to come across where a father was criticized for spanking his 12-year-old daughter after learning she was sexually active.
Yo, we just went through that at my job.
Okay.
I'm
not
not
a belt and spanked her.
Wow. Yo.
How do you feel about that? 12-year-old sexually active. He pulled out a belt and whooped her butt. Should he go to jail?
Yes and no.
No, I don't even accept the yes.
My whole thing is, as a father, I understand. As a reader, I'm shocked. As a podcast host, I have to tell what I feel. And I feel if I was that father, I probably would have been that angry and whooped her ass too. Now, would I have been right? Maybe not. I don't know.
I think you will be right of, being a because is not always talking, gets to people's heads. I think, sometimes, how, parents say little love taps and stuff like that, or, disciplining your kid. You know, you don't have to really, you know, abuse her and that, but you know, like a nice, like, you know, whooping. You know, I feel like it'll bring, you know, some type of attention to her, so she won't make the same mistake again. Cause sometimes you just talking to your kid, sometimes it may go in one ear and out the other.
You're right about that.
So I feel like, you know,
don't I know it? Don't I know it, man? Don't I know it? Goes in that one ear and out the other.
So I feel like, you know, in this case, you know, the father was not wrong. You know, he does not deserve to, you know, go to jail. I feel like he just wants his daughter to understand, you know, this is wrong. You're still young. You have a whole life ahead of you. Why don't you wait till, you know, you're like 20 or something like that, or you have your own house to do that?
You know what? I'm gonna agree with you to a certain extent. Because I was gonna say something, but then I'm gonna change. Because then your moms might watch this. So we gonna just say I agree. Because not everybody gets sexually active sometimes. Due to the time constraint, people, we gonna wrap up. We're going to shut it down. We will be back here tomorrow. Hopefully, we will catch another concert. And I know it's kind of dark. You ain't going to be able to see. He wouldn't let me set up the light because I could have just plugged it up and flicked it on real quick.
Wasn't necessary.
But he said it ain't necessary. Now, I'm more dark up in the video.
Well, you should. Well, I'm about to say you shouldn't be that black, but open your eyes and your mouth. They'll see you.
Yeah, I'm dark as hell in the video.
Yeah, that wasn't even funny.
Yeah, but I'm there. I'm still here. But anyway, we coming on to the night. We should have hooked up the lights, but it's okay.
We should have got out here a little earlier.
That's all. But it's okay.
It
was a good show. Yeah, we always have a good time.
I feel a little better about my day.
Yeah.
And I hope we made others feel a little better, gave people something to think about. And if you got time, put in some comments. We'll definitely answer them.
We want to thank Deja for hanging out with us today. Listen, make sure you check him out. He's getting ready to start his YouTube channel. That's why he's out here with us today. He has to learn some things. He's learning the ropes. He's learning how to do the things from the beginning. Until we meet again.
This is Livinroom Trt, Ren and Tone Show.
Heard up.
Y'all go out there and have a woody woo day.
Have yourself a woody woo day. I like that. Live from the living room. Big Ren, Tone, Lord, that be live. Live from the living room. Big Ren, Tone, Lord, that be live. Live from